Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's a great day. That's what we say. Happy birthday to you.
Hey guys, it's Igho, and today is my 27th birthday. Hey, so in the spirit of celebrating and reflecting, I thought I would do a video on lessons that I've learned while I was 26 and the years before, because those lessons kind of carried over into, but I learned so much in the past year and I want to share it with you guys. If you're new here, my name is Igho. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Pinterest at love_Igho. I would love to hear from you. So the first lesson, number one, is done is better than perfect. So whatever it is that you want to do, just start. That was my mantra in February when I launched my book, because I had procrastinated, and there were all these excuses that I had made up for not starting, and there were things that I wanted to be in place, and I wanted it to look really nice, and I wanted it to look ready, and I didn't want my blog to look amateurish, and I was very self-conscious about what am I going to say. I have to prepare, and what do I really have, is this really something that I should be doing? Is this this isn't something I'm prepared for? There were all these different reasons, but at the end of the day I realized that done is better than perfect, because I was taking too long to get ready and I had all these excuses I was making up, so I just started. So whatever it is that you want to do, just start. The second lesson is allowing yourself to freely change your mind about your goals or your career path or any other path without feeling like a disappointment. If you've invested so much time getting an education and grooming yourself to go into a particular career path, and that just doesn't seem to be working, and you find yourself wanting to try something new, but the failure of not succeeding in what you had spent so many years preparing for continues to haunt you, give yourself a break, which is what I did. I gave myself a break and allowed myself to change my mind about the path that I was going to take to success without feeling like a disappointment or without feeling like a failure. I don't know if it's a feeling that ever totally goes away, but I know that it's something that can be overcome. The third lesson is that whatever your hustle is, it is valid. If you have to take some time in your mind, do whatever you have to do for you to validate your hustle. Validate it so that you can celebrate it. Don't belittle the things that you put in time to do. Don't belittle the things. Don't belittle your talents or your gifts. So validate it. It is valid. If it's a gift that was given to you, if it's a skill that you have honed, if it's something that you've spent time practicing, it is valid. It is valid and it is worth celebrating. The fourth lesson is that fear is a lot realer than I had realized. And it's an enemy that attacks, or it manifests on levels that you may really need to take the time to identify and unpack. Because fear sometimes can be difficult to identify. There are many habits that we have in our lives, habits like procrastination and things that we don't necessarily think are linked to the fears that we have, but they really are, and it is real. So I came to realize how tangible and how crippling it is. So take the time to identify it, take the time to unpack habits and identify the fears that lead to those things. Number 5 is to learn while you wait. I learned this year that learning is preparation, whether it's in the form of reading books, listening to podcasts, taking courses, watching shows, watching videos about whatever it is that you're trying to be, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Learning is something that you should do, especially while you're waiting for the opportunity to come. I learned that learning is actually a measure of faith. Learning, especially while you're waiting for an opportunity to come, means that you're preparing ahead of time for the opportunity to come, and you want to make yourself ready. So you taking steps to hone your craft, polish up your skills, and make it better is a measure of faith. So take the time to learn while you wait. Don't make up excuses that because opportunities haven't come, so you're waiting to delve into the thing. While you're waiting, learn your craft, hone your craft. The sixth lesson is owning your quirks. Things that make you stand out that may not necessarily be normal. Identify those things and own them. So get comfortable with your quirks. And if it's something that you feel comfortable enough to share, I hope you find the courage to put it out there, because you will find in the world, you will find a community of people who have the same quirks and who identify with the same things that you do. So own it. And this one actually leads to the next point, which is that you give yourself permission to be you. Give yourself permission to be yourself. Allow it. Embrace it. And this is something that I personally still deal with every day, and I almost have to psych myself every time I want to create content, or every time I'm second guessing whatever it is that I'm about to do. I always have to remind myself that myself is really the best market that I have to sell. So I give myself permission to be me. Lesson number 8 is that self-care and self-improvement, or the steps that you're taking towards becoming a better you, those things can happen without you accepting the you that you are now. You have to accept you in the version that you are now if you're going to grow to the version that you see yourself becoming. Lesson number 9 is that you listen more. And I actually think that learning the art of listening first before you respond is actually what separates people who appear smart from people who aren't as smart. It prevents you from jumping into conclusions. It gives you time to think and process the information that you're receiving. So learn to listen more. Yes. Or don't be a bebelube. I don't know how to translate. I don't know. Don't be a gun jumper. Don't be a person that jumps the gun. My bad. So listen more. Lesson number 10 is that you give people the benefit of the doubt that you would want to be given to you. We judge ourselves and our actions based on our intentions, but we don't do the same for other people. We judge people by their actions, regardless of what their intentions were. It really helps to see certain people's actions through the eyes of their intentions, especially if the person has made the effort to explain their intentions to you. So try as much as possible to give people the benefit of the doubt. I learned this year to not be upset with people if they don't live up to my expectations of them. So don't be upset with people. Don't hold grievances against people just because they didn't live up to your expectations of them, or live up to the value that you thought they would bring to your life. They're human. We all are, and we humanate, or whatever it is humans do. We err. That's the word. We err. Yes. And lesson number 12: keep your values. But try not to project your values or your beliefs onto others. It will save you a lot of trouble. You have to understand that you live in a world where people have different upbringings, different religious beliefs, political beliefs, and so hold on to your values. Make sure your values are your values while being open-minded. Keep your values, but don't project your values or your beliefs, and don't force them on other people or see them as less than if they don't necessarily align with what you have chosen to believe in. Lesson number 13 is that time is valuable. Hashtag note to self. I keep reminding myself, your time is valuable. It is more, I dare say it's more valuable than money. So it's more valuable than money. And I hope that you're given the wisdom to be able to differentiate, or to be able to distinguish between situations where you have to pick your time over where you have to pick your time over money. It's a really hard decision. It's a really hard decision to make sometimes, but yes, your time is more valuable than money. Those are things to keep in mind when you want to procrastinate. We don't always have tomorrow. Lesson number 14 is that you be gentle with yourself. This is something that hits so close to home. I know many people, present company included, who are really gentle with their friends when their friends are beating themselves down for mistakes that they made. For most of us, it hurts to see our loved ones beat themselves up over mistakes that they made, or opportunities that they've lost through, because it's one thing for you to be downtrodden, or for you to be sad over something that happened to you that you had no control over. But when something happens to you as a result of your own mistakes, sometimes the guilt makes it very difficult to move on. I missed this opportunity because I was lazy, or because I didn't do my work on time. But you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to make a conscious effort to be kind to yourself. Beating yourself up will not necessarily lead to you making better choices in the future. And over time, self-blame tricks the mind and eventually the body into punishing itself. And what good would that do? So save yourself the stress. If it's time that you've wasted, and it's opportunities that you've lost, or like opportunities that you haven't taken advantage of, Just move on, get ready, and prepare. Another one will come. Surely, another one will come. That is something that I believe in. There are certain people who say an opportunity missed. You may not get the same opportunity again, but you will get another opportunity. So just be sure that you're ready for the next one. Lesson number 15 is just because you're doing something that you're passionate about doesn't mean that you won't need to be disciplined to get the work done. The passion won't always fuel you. The passion won't always be the driving force behind your motivation. Sometimes you will have to work on discipline, because you can still get overwhelmed by what you adore doing. That is something that can definitely happen. You can be passionate about something and still be undisciplined about the things that you actually have to put in, the effort that you actually have to put in to make it work. So that's, yeah. So just a heads up, if you're going to get into something that you really, really love and like that you're so enthusiastic about doing, even those things can be overwhelming. Number 16 is being the love and the affection or attention that you're looking for. When you're feeling down about your situation or whatever, one of the most helpful things that helped me is reaching out to someone that I believe needs the love and the attention that I'm looking for. It's hard, but if you can find a way to pass that affection onto someone else, it will really make your heart smile, and it prevents you from being self-occupied, and self-occupation is very, very painful. Sometimes one of the most helpful things that you can do is to pay forward what you haven't necessarily received yourself, just to take yourself out of yourself and give to someone else. And I promise you, helping someone else alleviate or lift their own load will somehow help you in return. Number 17 is caring for your mind and caring for your heart. What goes into it, what you show it, what you speak into it, especially when you're vulnerable. It is as cliche as it is true. We do have to care for our minds and our hearts. Lesson number 18, that fear that you feel could be a measure of exactly what you should be doing. No successful person has never felt fear. Start and continue. Lesson 19 is to be grateful. Gratitude is the first step to putting things in perspective. So sometimes it feels like it's unfair for you to be grateful for the little that you have, especially when you want a lot more, but we should always be grateful for the little that we have. And the last lesson is that you just breathe. I learned this year never to underestimate the power of just taking a step back. It seems mundane, silly, or simple, but a lot of the treasures and most important things in life are sometimes hidden in the most basic looking things. If I can add anything else, I guess it would be, it's okay to not feel okay all the time. Yeah. So guys, I hope these lessons have helped you and motivated you in your own life in one way or the other. And I would love to hear some of the comments that you've learned over the past year in the comments below. So see you in my next video. Bye.